If you're a small business and you need financial support as a result of the coronavirus, then stay tuned. Today I've got some updates for you and answers about what you need to know about the stimulus bill that was passed last night. So I know there's a lot of places that you can get your information about what's going on with the coronavirus and the stimulus packages and everything else. My name is Jim Hart. I'm a lawyer. I deal with online businesses and small businesses, and this is my jam. So stay tuned. I got a lot of information to share with you today about what's going on with the current state of the stimulus bill, who it affects, who it doesn't affect, and what you need to know now to be prepared to take advantage of this bill when it goes into law. In my opinion, we're at a pivotal time right now in our country. Some states are toying with the idea of reopening in terms of business. Other states are still taking kind of a wait and see approach because they're still dealing with a large volume of coronavirus cases. But even in the states where they're talking about reopening, it doesn't necessarily mean we're out of the woods just yet. There is still a lot at stake even if those states reopen. And the reason for that is because if they reopen too soon, we could see another spike in cases which could cause even further problems down the road. And here's what's really important. The US Senate, in particular Mitch McConnell, is already telling us that he is opposed to a fourth round of stimulus money. So the CARES 2 Act that the President and House Democrats are in favor of, Mitch McConnell is saying he's not going to entertain that in the Senate. So it still remains to be seen how that's going to play out. There are a lot of programs that are on the table for CARES 2. Some of those include monthly stimulus checks, rental abatement, mortgage relief, student loan relief, and all sorts of other programs that are meant to help individual taxpayers. But because of the uncertainty about whether or not we're ever going to see a fourth stimulus package passed, it's really important that we pay attention to what happened last night in Congress. And the bill that was passed last night focused on two primary areas. It focused on help for small businesses, and it focused on increased testing for the coronavirus. It did not, and this is important, pay attention, it did not provide any additional stimulus money for individuals. So for those of you that have seen my prior video about the $2,000 a month proposal that was sent out or are wondering what's going on with your stimulus checks, the bill that was passed last night had nothing to do with that. The other thing that's really important to know is that the bill that was passed last night is not yet law, although by the time I publish this, it's very possible that the President may have signed it into law. So more on what that didn't cover in just a minute, but for now, here's what was included in the stimulus bill that was passed by Congress last night. It provided $310 billion for the Payroll Protection Program. It provided an additional $75 billion for the healthcare system. It provided an additional $50 billion for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, as well as an additional $10 billion on top of that, so $60 billion total. But $10 billion on top of that for the grant portion of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, and an additional $25 billion for testing and contact tracing for the coronavirus. What do you need to know to take advantage of this bill that was passed last night, assuming that the President signs it, which we all expect he will? First thing, if you have not already gone to the SBA website and applied for an Economic Injury Disaster Loan, you need to do that. And the reason you need to do that is because there's a check the box when you apply for that program to ask for the grant. You're not really going to hear anything from them. You know, I got some grant money. I know other people have gotten some grant money from this program. You probably aren't going to hear anything else from the SBA about this, but you need to make sure you apply so that if you are eligible for the grant and you can get a grant, that you'll get it. You need to do that right away. Number two, if you don't already have a business bank account, you need to go out and get one. Now, some places are going to make you go in person to a branch to do that. Some banks might make you mail in an application. Whatever you need to do, you need to get that business bank account open up ASAP if you don't already have one. Assuming you do already have a business bank account, you need to go ahead and call your banker. Especially if you're a local bank, it's really important that you reach out to your banker and find out what they're doing, what their process is for getting you into the PPP program, and how you can make sure that your application is fast-tracked. It's possible they might have an online portal that you'll need to fill out by now. Most banks do. Or they might just need you to fill out an application online and email it to them. There's different processes. My bank, they have me download a special application that they had prepared where I could fill out my information on the application electronically, sign it electronically, and then upload it to their portal. Different banks are going to do things differently. Next, what you need to do is you need to gather the information so that you can apply for the correct amount of loan. If you're a self-employed person, you're going to need to collect your your information that would go on your Schedule C, which shows your income and losses from business from last year. If you are an S corporation or you otherwise are paid a salary from your business and you're the business owner, then you need to collect your payroll costs for the last 12 months according to what's available with the program. And then you're going to take that information, you're going to take the average monthly expense and you're going to multiply it by 2.5. That's the amount of the loan that you're going to be eligible for. And then lastly, you're going to submit your application as soon as possible once the president has signed this bill into law and once your banker tells you that it's okay to do so. If you want more information on the PPP loan program and how it works, here's a video right here. We'll see you in the next video.